So, I had this dream, not last night, but the night before. And in my dream, I'm with a doctor at the beginning of the dream that I can remember. And the doctor's telling me what's wrong with me. And what he says is, says you've got liver cancer. And liver cancer is like a death sentence. People don't recover from liver cancer. There's no cure for it. So I'm going to die. That's what the doctor tells me. You are going to die, and you're going to die really soon. You don't have time. You don't have much time left. And from the doctor telling me that and like showing me this like scan of my body with like the tumors in my liver, it kind of, the dream shuffles forward and I'm dying. I'm like in a bed and I'm dying and I'm confused and I'm in pain. And all I'm trying to do is I'm trying desperately to remember and write down passwords for like my computer and for my like accounts and everything online, my bank accounts and that sort of stuff. And I'm actually there with my childhood friend Vince. I'm trying to write him down all the passwords to my computer to get the stuff, get my projects off the computer. And if you're wondering why my wife wasn't there in the dream, it's because in this dream I had no wife, I had no child, and my dad was still alive. Which my dad is frequently alive in my dreams. So I'm trying to remember the passwords that I can't remember them. I'm too confused. It's too far gone, and it starts to get darker and darker and darker, like the darkness is folding in around me, and I can't remember, and I'm out of time. And then it's like curtains close. The curtains close, and it goes completely black. And then I'm dead, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm dead. And then the curtains kind of pull back and I open my eyes and I'm in kind of like a weird hospice house kind of thing. It's like a giant house. I'm in a bed and it's really bright. And I'm able to get up out of the bed and walk around. And I run into this guy who's like a doctor, and he kind of looks like Maddox. He's got like a bald head and kind of a beard. And he looks like Maddox if you've ever seen his videos or read his website. And so I run into him and I'm like, I wasn't expecting to wake up from this. I thought I was going to die. And he says, well, I was looking at your scans. I was looking at your CT scan and your MRI, and I realized that there was something that we could do. Like most of the time with liver cancer, you can't do anything. Or there's just virtually nothing you can do to slow it down. But I saw the way it was, and no one else saw this. And so what we were able to do is, while we had the CT going, I was able to go in and I was able to block off all the blood to like these tumors. I was able to block up these tumors so that they won't get the blood supply and they can't grow. And I'm like, so what does that mean? He goes, that means that you're not going to die right now. You're going to have a lot more time. You're still going to die. You're still going to die, but now you have a little bit more time to do that. And I remember when I was talking to this doctor and he was telling me this stuff, it was this like profoundly amazing feeling to go from being dead to and forgetting and not being able to finish anything or even leave it to for someone else to finish, to having time to enjoy life, to talk to people again, to work on the things that need to be worked on, to try to finish things. Just saying you have more time was like the best feeling in the world. It was the most joyful experience that I could imagine, and I can't even properly communicate it to you. I can't tell you what it feels like, but other than it felt really, really profoundly like you're suddenly uplifted, like you've been given the greatest gift in the world just to have a few more months to be alive. And my dad was there, and I was able to talk to my dad about it, and all these sorts of things. And then I woke up from that. So I woke up from that dream to my real life. And the feeling of joy of going from like death, I'm dead, to I have more months to live, as a giant like excess of joy. That's the difference between going from being I have time, to waking up to my actual life, to where it's not that I have a little bit more time and death is on the horizon. It's that I have real time. I have my life ahead of me. I have the strength to do the things that I want to do. I'm married and I have a child. I have a house. I have wealth. I have health. I have. I'm doing everything that I want to do in life, creatively and personally and professionally and all these sorts of things. It's like I'm waking up to the greatest life imaginable, a life that is so rich, and I'm so wealthy in every sense that you could be wealthy. That's how I am especially compared to this dream. I can't properly communicate what that feels like, but it feels like you've been reminded of you have more time. You've been reminded of that some people don't have that time in their life. Some people have that cut short. And so there was a huge feeling of a gift that, I don't know, this dream delivered to me. And it was really, really amazing. And I wanted to share it with you. And I spent the whole day, by the way, like processing this dream and trying to trying to deal with the feelings that I had from it. And in the course of that day, you know, I woke up and I felt amazing, and I went and I just spent the whole day like playing with my son, which was a lot of fun. We did all kinds of fun stuff. Then I went and saw Dragon Force. That night, and it was a great concert. It was a lot of fun. And at the same time, while I'm going to Dragon Force, I also receive some really, really, really horrible news for my family, and all of that kind of went into the processing that was necessary. So by the time that I got home and went to sleep at like 3 a.m., like it all kind of fit into this box about being given time and understanding also that you have these moments that are precious right now, that like now is the most precious time, and you still have the ability to work, and you still have a future that you can work towards. That's an amazing feeling. And I just wanted to share that a little bit with you. And I also wanted to, it made me think of this Tolkien story called Leaf by Niggle. And you could probably find it around. It's in this book called Tales from the Perilous Realm, which has some great fairy tales in it. I like Tolkien's fairy tales. And in Leaf by Niggle, it's about this painter named Niggle who's constantly focusing on painting just trees and leaves, just trying to create this grand painting of trees. And all the while, there's this looming on the horizon of, I have this journey that I have to make. And I'm going to read a passage, I think. I'm going to read a passage from this story, and you'll know what the journey is. And if you haven't read the story, you can go read it. And I do recommend it, and it gives a really, really great insight into the way Tolkien thought about himself and his artistry. And while Niggle's working on this painting, focusing on the details, he's constantly being distracted by having to help his neighbor Parrish, who's lamed and needs a lot of help with chores and those sorts of things. So let me read this passage to you, and maybe that will help you feel what I'm feeling. Next day, he felt a good deal better. So at this point, Niggle, he rode his bicycle into town in the rain to find builders to help fix his neighbor's house who had a leaky roof. And he caught a really, really bad cold in the process and had a fever for weeks and couldn't get out of bed. Now he finally got out of bed and has spent a couple days, and now he's ready to paint again. So next day, he felt a good deal better. He climbed the ladder and began to paint. He had just begun to get into it again when there came a knock at the door. "Damn," said Niggle, but he might just as well have said, "Come in," politely, for the door opened all the same. This time a very tall man came in, a total stranger. "This is a private studio," said Niggle. "I am busy. Go away." "I am an inspector of houses," said the man, holding up his appointment card so that Niggle on his ladder could see it. "Oh," he said, "your neighbor's house is not satisfactory at all," said the inspector. "I know," said Niggle. "I took a note to the builders a long time ago, but they have never come. Then I have been ill." "I see," said the inspector, "but you are not ill now." "But I'm not a builder. Parrish ought to make a complaint to the town council and get help from the emergency service."
They are busy with the worse damage than any up here, said the inspector. There has been a flood in the valley, and many families are homeless. You should have helped your neighbor to make temporary repairs and prevent the damage from getting more costly to mend than necessary. That is the law. There is plenty of material here. Canvas, wood, waterproof paint.
Where? Said Niggle indignantly.
There, said the inspector, pointing to the picture.
My picture? Explained Niggle.
I dare say it is, said the inspector, but houses come first. That is the law.
But it can't.
Niggle said no more, for at that moment another man came in. Very much like the inspector he was, almost his double, tall, dressed in all black. Come along, he said. I am the driver.
Niggle stumbled down from the ladder. His fever seemed to have come on again, and his head was swimming. He felt cold all over.
Driver?
Driver, he chattered. Driver of what?
You and your carriage, said the man. The carriage was ordered long ago. It has come at last. It's waiting. You start today on your journey, you know. There now, said the inspector. You'll have to go. But it's a bad way to start on your journey, leaving your jobs undone. Still, we can at least make some use of this canvas now.
Oh dear, said poor Niggle, beginning to weep. And it's not even finished.
Not finished, said the driver. Well, it's finished with as far as you're concerned, at any rate. Come along.
Niggle went, quite quietly. The driver gave him no time to pack, saying that he ought to have done that before, and that they would miss the train. So all Niggle could do was grab a little bag in the hall. He found that it contained only a paint box and a small book of his own sketches, neither food nor clothes. They caught the train all right. Niggle was feeling very tired and sleepy. He was hardly aware of what was going on when they bundled him into his compartment. He did not care much. He had forgotten where he was supposed to be going, or what he was going for. The train ran almost at once into a dark tunnel. Niggle woke up in a very large, dim railway station. A porter went along the platform shouting, but he was not shouting the name of the place. He was shouting, "Niggle!" Niggle got out in a hurry, and found that he had left his little bag behind. He turned back, but the train had gone away.
"Ah, there you are," said the porter.
"This way."
"What? No luggage?" "You will have to go to the workhouse."
Niggle felt very ill, and fainted on the platform. They put him in an ambulance and took him to the workhouse infirmary. And I'll leave you guys to read the rest of this, and what his journey actually was. And you probably figured it out by now. But anyway, I just wanted to share that particular little story, because it is an interesting gift, the feeling. And it is a good mind exercise that you can do to understand the value of life right now. Which is to imagine you're dying of cancer, and the doctor says, "No, you're not. You have more time," and that's a really, really great feeling. So I'll leave you guys with that. You guys have a great one.